So yeah, we're going to be starting off Evoland 100%. And we're going to basically start with a game that might look a little bit dull, but you'll see that that will change very, very quickly. Basically, the way that this game works is that every single time I pick up a chest, instead of unlocking, you know, an item that would upgrade your character or that would make you stronger, you instead, you get achievements and you evolve the game around you. So, you know, right now we've got no color, we've barely got any sound. We did unlock the sound effects already, but that really is about it. And we're going to steadily evolve this game into, well, pretty much a fully fledged game with everything on the side. We're also going to be picking up every single additional chest. There's a bunch of collectibles in the games, like cards and stars. As well as a bunch of hidden achievements that you can get. We're going to be collecting all of those to get the 100% requirement by the end of the run. Now, we have once tried to do this before at a BSG, to no avail, but because unfortunately something happened in that run and we didn't actually get the 100%, so let's try to not get the 99% the second time. So, yeah, let's see what happens. We've got our music unlocked. It's still nothing too special, but, you know, it's better than nothing. And we're just casually going to collect all these stars and cards. This first area is pretty easy. We're going to go here 3 times in total, though. The first time, it's just to get to the end. The second time, I will point it out, but it'll be a while before we get there. And then the third time around is just to collect the items that I forgot to pick up along the way. So there's a few items that we're going to skip along the way just to make sure that that we get everything fast. We're going to quickly get the story, though, and it tells a little bit about, you know, the peace that reigned and then some evil came and the warriors that of whatever have to defeat that evil. We don't really normally pick that up, so, you know, I'm not too familiar with the story. But basically, you know, we're the good guys. There's a bad guy. We need to defeat him. End of story. Pretty straightforward, really. I really have to watch out with all of these enemies, because every single one of these enemies right now will one-shot me if I get hit. I never unlocked additional lives, so most runs, and let's hope that does not count for this one, but most runs will actually die in the first 3 minutes as a result. This is the last fight, so we're almost out of Edenvale 1. Okay, that's one. And that's the last one. Okay, so we got the most dangerous part out of the way, and we didn't actually die, so that's a good start. And with that, we're gonna go into from like a 2D, you know, original Zelda into a more of an RPG style with the Final Fantasies and the Dragon Quest-like styles. And we're gonna go into some turn-based combat. This is also the first time in the run that we're actually gonna get some RNG, because I need to kill 4 things, and, well, how many spawn and which spawn is completely random. Ideally, I want to see slimes, and ideally, I want to get 4 enemies split over 2 encounters, because there's a 3 enemy maximum. We did not get any slimes yet. We did not actually get just the 4 encounters that I wanted. So in both regards, we're not on off to a good start, but that's okay. The 100% run is a very RNG heavy run, so we've got plenty of chances to catch up a little bit. This is really not the part that we have to worry about. My health is getting a little bit low, which is something I kind of need to keep an eye out for, but we have a safety potion in case I need it. We're gonna get place names. That's the most common item for me to pick up when I run any percent after I have recently done 100%, because it's pretty much not at all out of the way. It doesn't lose you any time to get it. So I always accidentally pick that up whenever I run any percent. Let me get the last one as well. There we go. And after having killed them, we've turned that meadow into, well, a village. The villagers are kind of mean. They don't want to talk to me right now. So, you know, we're too small. We're a kid. They don't like talking to kids. So instead, we're going to go into this well, and we're going to grab that seed, which is going to allow me to grow taller. You know, now that we're a tall human, people will talk to me again. Let's quickly grab that card, and let's get out of here. Now, we are going to pretty much unlock everything in this town, except for 1 card, because we do not currently have the money, and grinding for it would be really, really slow. Plus, I mean, we don't really like grinding, so, you know, the more I can avoid it, the better. So first and foremost, we're going to allow ourselves to enter some of these houses. And, well, this first one, the inn, we don't really have the money to sleep, so we're just going to unlock the innkeeper because, you know, we need that for 100%, and we're just going to instantly leave again. The shop, however, which is over here, this is the weapon and armor shop, basically. We are going to go talk to the guy over here because we need a sword and we need a piece of armor. You need both of those in order to actually be able to progress the game, so, you know, we need to get that bit of equipment so that we're ready for the strong monsters ahead. And now that that's done, we're just going to take a bit of a secret pathway here. Grab ourselves this card. And then let's get into this house on the side here and grab ourselves the last star in town. You'll notice over the course of this run that Evoland 1 has a lot of these little hidden pathways that we need to go through in order to just collect cards and stars and the likes. Okay, that's the last one. So with that, we're done in town, and we're going to move on to, well, whatever is behind. Supposedly there's the Crystal Caves behind, which has a very, very powerful monster in it. So let's see what happens. But what's this? We got ourselves a forced fight. So this is a fight where if you get really low on health during the initial grinding section, you can actually be in a little bit of trouble here. We are still going to be incredibly low, which is not very good, but we should be able to manage here. And with that, Kairos joins our party, and well, that's the cave in the back there that we need to go to. But before we do, we're going to quickly enter in here into the Hidden Meadow. And, well, we've got the slime card, really bad card, actually. But when you go into the hidden cave, there is another hidden hallway. And I should mention real quick, so just to give you guys an idea, there is, in a hidden meadow, in a hidden cave, there is a hidden chest with pretty much the best card in the game. The cards will not come into play for some time, but they will come into play near the very end of the run, where we're going to have to do a card game. And we need to win all of the levels, all the way to the champion level, in order to unlock one achievement. So this part is it's kind of RNG heavy. I need to try or I need to just hope to get lucky on these encounters. Ideally, I want to see enemies with one encounter, because those are quick to kill. So yeah, over here we're going to get the Seed, which is the best card in the game. There is basically every card has 4 sides. It's kind of like a triple triad setting that you're going to get. I'll showcase it later, but every card has 1 side, and that has a number which indicates how strong it is. Ranging from 1 to 9, and then a star. Star being the highest level. The Seed will have 9 on every single side. So we're going to make our way out of the Hidden Meadow, and next up will be the Crystal Caves, which is where that super powerful boss is at. Now, the unfortunate thing right now is that, I mean, the Crystal Caves, it's a fairly lengthy dungeon. And it'll mostly be running away from encounters and just exploring the thing. So I guess while we're going to go through this place, I'm going to throw it over to my boy Indy on the mic. To first of all, I mean, I think we do have a quick donation, but after that, to, you know, tell you guys a little bit about the charity that we're actually supporting.
All right, thank you, Crrool. We have a €1.69 donation from Plundernook. Can't have the nice round numbers, no? Can we? Thank you very much. And yeah, guys, we are raising money for the Dutch Cancer Society. So if you want to help fighting and preventing cancer, then you should get your donations in. We have a bunch of donation incentives, and yeah, we give it over back to Crrool.
So yeah, the chest we just picked up, it's actually a very important chest, because that is the experience points, meaning that from this point on I can actually gain some levels, which will come into play near the end of the run. We're gonna just quickly grab this hidden star over here. There's apparently some hidden hallway there that, you know, you're supposed to go through in order to find that star. How you would casually find that, I always question that with this game, because there is some really well-hidden hallways. But all in all, it's just moving around, collecting the last few items, running from all of these enemies. We've got the bigger part of it done. There is a heal point coming up soon. I'm going to try to grab that when I get there, because Kyrus is getting really low on health, and that is kind of a problem. But first we need to still get this star over here. So let's get over here. The life fountain. That fountain will allow me to fully heal all of my party members, even if they had fainted, as well as save the game. So it's a nice little checkpoint to get. And now we're about to go for the first glitch of the game, because, I mean, this might be the 100% category, but it is definitely not glitchless. First off, we're going to get this button over here that I need to press, but I'm going to go into the menu, and that allows me to move while that trigger is being hit. So while normally you'd have to wait until the jingle is over before you could move, but this way we can just move while the jingle is playing. It saves like a second and a half or something. You'll notice, especially early on in the run, there's going to be a few glitches, specifically after the next place. There's a dungeon with a bunch of those, and they'll be very small generally, but all in all, they still save minutes at a time, basically. Just because there's so many little skips that you can do, that just end up saving a whole lot of time. But yeah, we're going to get to Kefka's Ghost. Now, for those not familiar with the RPGs, Kefka is the final boss of Final Fantasy VI. So, you know, direct reference to FF6 right here. He, as with a lot of the first bosses in a lot of classic RPGs, several Final Fantasies do that as well. He's got two phases. He's got the phase where we can just attack him and he will attack us. And we've got the phase where he'll become a ghost, and if I attack him then, he'll do some very powerful move on me. I need to really make sure Kyrus doesn't die here, because that's really bad if she does. But yeah, basically I need to just not attack while he's in ghost form, and I need to attack him as much as I can while he's in his regular form. Okay, there we go. We should get him pretty soon from here. Generally, it takes just over that second ghost phase. And there we go. It gets us level 3, and that's why it's so important to get that now, because that level will help a lot near the end of the run. And with that, we've unlocked 3D mode. Now, remember how I said we'd go to Edenvale 3 times? Yeah, this is the second time. We are actually in the same area that we were at the start, except it's a different part of the area, so you might not recognize it right away. Also, it's going to be in 3D, so it'll look a little bit different to begin with. But yeah, we also just now picked up our life bonus for the first time, and that basically means that, you know, right now, if I get hit by something, I won't instantly die. It's kind of convenient when playing a game with this many enemies flying around. Just play it safe and make sure we get rid of them anyway, but at least now it won't be a big deal if I get hit somewhere. Okay, so we're gonna go all the way around here because there is one more chest that I need to pick up, and then we'll go back to literally the part that we started the game at. So, you know, we're 14 minutes in, and we're gonna go back to the start again. This time, though, in full 3D. Because it turns out that a little bit up here, there's this pathway that I can take. And you may have noticed that at the start, there was this stone slab in the way. Because we're now in 3D mode, we can actually take that, or we can actually just cross that stone slab, and now we're at the start of the game. This is, you know, to the right here, we fought those soldiers. This is where we got our little bit more fancy colors. We picked up the storyline here, you know, all that good stuff. It's fond memories right there. But that being said, we're done with that, so let's move on. First and foremost, we're going to get life bonus, meaning that enemies can drop lives. We're going to be purposely skipping that chest over there because it has the camera zoom, which means if I would get it, I would lose about 1.5 seconds every single time I would pick up a chest. And we are going to be picking up a whole lot of chests, so we want to avoid that at all costs. We will pick it up because we need it for the 100%, but we'll pick it up in like an hour or so. Yeah, with that, we're just gonna finish grabbing all of the remaining chests, and we'll make our way out of here into the next dungeon. Now, the next dungeon is also pretty much the most difficult dungeon in this game in terms of the speedrun. It's got a lot of really minor little skips, but more importantly, the boss in this game, in this dungeon, in 100% is the most difficult boss in the run. Specifically because we have to do him without, or we have to finish the fight with having full health left, meaning we basically can't get hit. There really is a lot of cool little skips that we can do in this place, though, so I'll try to show off as many as I can. Back on the overworld, we're gonna make that some nice 3D world as well, and into the Neura mines we go. This is another one of those dungeons that we're going to go in more than once. We're actually going to do this dungeon twice. We're going to start with it now, and we're going to do it again near the end to grab the remaining items that I skipped. Okay, so right off the bat, we're going to see some pressure plates, and that means that the first skip is coming up as it is. Just let me get rid of those bats to be sure. Basically the same as before, so this allows me to move as this cutscene plays. It will prevent the door from properly unlocking, but it saves me having to wait for that. You may have noticed I broke that pot even though I was at full health. That does actually have a reason, because I need to have full health coming out of this place. And I need to have broken as many pots as possible. Especially early on. We just want to break all of these pots, because there is an achievement for breaking 20 pots. Also, another little skip. Just because we can. That's how you grab keys in this game. It's really useful. So yeah, the pot over there is kind of hard to grab because of the skeleton. So we're just going to skip on that one for now, but we can still get it later on. And we unlock this little bridge here, which leads up to a maze. Now, we all know mazes can be really difficult. Luckily, this one isn't too difficult to go through. We're just gonna go on the side here, grab ourselves this little key. Now, normally at any percent, I could just now walk to the exit of the maze, but, well, there is this little hidden item over here still. And yet another star. I guess as we go through this maze, I should explain the collectibles a little bit. There's a total of 53 collectible items that I need to grab over the course of the run. 30 stars and 23 cards. The stars will unlock an achievement every 10 I get. The cards will give me one at, I believe, 15, and then by showing some guy the entire collection. So the second one is actually really easy to skip. I remember back when the 100% time was not as good as it is nowadays. I actually got a 99% once, thinking that was 100%, but my game had glitched out. Only to realize later that I had never talked to the guy to show him my entire card collection. So the game still had just the achievement for 15 cards. Okay, coming up is one of the biggest skips of this dungeon. We're gonna walk with the inventory here. This skip saves about like 30 seconds. It's pretty big. And we can just go here. We'll have to wait here, otherwise I have a chance of soft locking the game. And we're gonna just talk to Kyra. She heals us to full. And now for one of the biggest trolls in this dungeon, we need to push this guy into that giant hole down there. But he can be very uncooperative sometimes. And up we go. A few more pressure plates. The first one will always spawn skeletons, no matter which one I pick to do first. And then we'll go down here, which gets us a tornado trap. I always use audio cues for this, so need to always listen in a little bit. It's always 3 whirlwinds, and then after the 3rd one, there'll be a little bit of a pause. These wizards are major trolls, by the way. Okay. They actually cooperated this time. Nice. Let's go. But yeah, with those whirlwinds, you really need to make sure to not fall through the last one specifically. The last one will send me back to a hidden item that I actually will need to grab. And I will actually grab that, but we'll do that on the second round, as it's much faster to get it then. And, well, we've got ourselves some lava. And, I mean, I know that my good friend on the hosting station is gonna get some hype, because, yes, we will get a lava boost soon. So, you know, just to keep the BSG memes alive, I guess. So, just gonna break all of those pots, make sure I've broken enough. We're gonna get auto fire, which means those fireballs will start triggering automatically. Get a card, and well, this is the first time we're gonna do a lava boost. Here we go. So yeah, that's it. That's all there is to it. We just use the lava to get back to the start. We will use a few bigger ones and a lot more significant ones later, but for now, that'll have to do. And, well, coming up is another trap, because this place is full of traps, but we actually kind of use this trap in a way. First off, we're going to grab this key over here, which is actually the key to the boss room, which, now that we've grabbed the key, it unlocks. Now, normally, we'd have to kill every single one of these enemies, and that will open up a gate to go to that door really, really quickly. First, though, we're going to grab this one over here, because this is a pretty important chest. And this is one of those chests where, you know, how would you know that the walls, you know, you can just go through them there. But it works, so, you know, let's just not question the logic of the game, I guess. Gonna break a few pots just for the safety of it. I don't need to break these, presumably, but it can still come in handy. And I'm just gonna die there. And this is just the first death warp in the game. We're not gonna death warp a whole lot, but basically that skips me having to kill everything in that room and just sets me to being pretty close to the boss. And I'm gonna go into some serious time, because this is the hardest boss fight in the entire any percent run, or 100% run. In any percent he's pretty easy, but in 100% he's a pain. We're gonna fight Shadow Clink. He can basically do 3 things. He can charge into the wall, which is what we would like him to do, because that means we can damage him. He can shoot fireballs, or he can spawn bats. We need to deal 6 hits, preferably before he deals any. Okay, so that's the bats. Bats is pretty much the worst one, and sometimes the best one. Bats can drop hearts, which can be really useful. But they also move at random, so it's just another thing to keep track of, which can make them really annoying as well. Wasn't close to the wall there, unfortunately. Oh boy, that was close. Okay, I need to watch out here. Oh, he is summoning so many bats here. Okay, got it. That is the hardest fight of the game. Especially with that many bats at the end there. That came really, really close. I went into the menu to make sure that the bat wouldn't hit me as he died, because in that case, it still tells you that it doesn't count. So we're going to go out of this place, and we're going to go for the most important skip of the game. We're actually going to skip a chest for now. We're going to pick it up, but we're just going to go right through it. That walk through it is basically pixel perfect, but that allows me to skip every single overworld encounter in this area. That chest had the overworld encounters in it. We will have to kill a few, which is why we do need to grab it later. But for now, it just saves a whole lot of time to just go ahead and skip it. On an any percent run, skipping that chest saves about 10 to 20 minutes. On 100%, it's a little bit less, but it can still save upwards of like a good 10 minutes. Not to mention, like, if nothing else, not only does it save a whole lot of time, it actually adds a whole lot of safety to the run as well. The run becomes safer because there is no overworld encounters right now that would be able to kill me. In both any percent and 100%, you never really get the level to properly be able to deal with them. And in 100%, it's a little less so than any percent, but in any percent, it's just like everything can just basically instantly wipe you. So yeah, now we're gonna just walk through town. We'll get rid of those loading times, but we currently don't have the money to be able to do so. And, well, basically we need to find a way as to, you know, how can we get to this evil guy? It turns out that there's this really evil dude, Zephyros, that's threatening town. Now, he is holding up in the Black Citadel, which is a dungeon we can go through. We can go towards it, we can reach it. But it turns out, as we talk to the people, that we can't actually get in there unless we have the amulet. Now, the amulet is split into two halves. One hidden in the Sacred Grove, one hidden in the ruins of Saradnak. There we go. And we're gonna have to grab both halves and then go towards that tower to beat this really, really evil dude. Okay, let's get some better backgrounds going for us. And then, with that, it's just a few guys we still need to talk to. So this guy, he's telling about how he saw burn marks on the ground, like it was some dragon that passed by. It's, I mean, it turned out there's some kids playing with bombs. I don't know why his mother would let him play with bombs, but we'll just go with it, I guess. So let's go talk to that kid. Let's take those bombs. And once we have them, we'll be moving on to the Sacred Grove, which is the first and only time that we're actually going to be visiting it. It's the first dungeon that we don't revisit other than the Crystal Caves. Okay, so we get the bombs. Kairos rejoins our party, and it's on to the Sacred Grove to get that first half of the amulet, as well as a whole bunch of achievements, because there's actually quite a few that we need to get in here. So, yeah, here we go. Now, we're going to start off with a pretty difficult achievement. We're going to drop the bomb here, but I'm going to stick to the bombs for a little bit, because I actually need to kill a bat using a bomb. And that might seem really easy this way, but it is surprisingly tricky to get the bat to stop in exactly the position you want them to stop. So yeah, we're gonna time travel a bit. And now that we've time traveled, we're gonna use this other crystal to travel back in time. The Sacred Grove kind of switches between, you know, the 3D and 2D world, and you kind of need to use both worlds to unlock paths along the way. But first, we've got this little lava maze. And, well, there's first of all 2 hidden items that we need to grab, and then that big chest in the center. The big chest in the center is the bow, which is the last equipment piece we're going to be getting here. But first, there's some hidden cards and stars that we need to get. Again, how you're supposed to know that you can go through there, I have no idea, but let's just go with it. Let's get the star. Oh, that's kind of bad. I was trying to stay close to the side there because that helps with a damage boost coming up, or a lava boost more specifically. But yeah, I kind of failed that. That's fine though. We'll just walk back. Okay, there we go. We get the bow, and we're just gonna jump into the lava to get out of there, because that sets me right back to the start. And next up is a kind of an important skip here. We're gonna use the bow, and I'm just gonna walk over the tablet there as we're transitioning, and that skips me having to actually destroy that little tree over there. Saves a couple of seconds. So now we need to travel back and forth a bit in order to grab this chest over here. The card of Gefka's ghost. And we just use the bomb to get back. Now in the any percent category, you can basically skip the puzzle that we're about to do. In 100%, however, this puzzle is completely required to do. Because there is that chest over there that we do need to get. So we're gonna burn those little trees away. Use the bow to get back into this timeline, so that we can cross the dimensional stone here and grab the remaining chest. So yeah, on to the rest of the Sacred Grove. Basically, you can use a bomb in any percent in order to pass the little tree, and then transition into the correct time by the time you need to cross that stone. Okay, that's yet another star. There's a whole lot of these things in Sacred Grove, and we're only going to go here once, so I need to grab everything at the same time. I almost forgot to do something. This one wouldn't have lost too much time if I forgot it, but I need to get rid of that rock over there. Then we're going to use a similar skip, allowing us to move during the transition here. I kind of want to make sure that I have as much health as possible for the last section of this and going into the next dungeon, so whenever I get heart drops, I'm going to try to grab those if they're not too far out of the way. So yeah, here's a few minor things we need to do. Okay, I heard both of the triggers. That means we can travel through time again and then back into the 3D part. Now we're coming up on a pretty cool little skip that we actually do in both 100% and any percent. You see that little torch up here and the statue? Yeah, we can just light the other one like that. There is one line of pixels where you can shoot the arrow that it goes right past it and you just hit the other one. Not quite how it was intended, but it works quite well. So I'm going to keep the menu open here because we're going to try and do this. Okay. We're going to try to beat these skeletons with the bow. That's generally the fastest way to get rid of them. Not quite cooperative today, it seems. Okay, and then for the wizards, we use bombs. As long as I'm in the menu, the trigger for the wizard actually stays there, so we don't have to worry too much about them. We can just place the bomb right next to them, and then kill them off like that. Okay, there is yet another star. And with that, we're actually coming up on the newest skip in the 100% category. Just last week, we actually found a skip around here that is gonna save us about like 20 seconds. It's pretty cool. Okay, so we have to hit that fire there. And normally, what you're supposed to do is that you're gonna have to go back down in order to change the time again. But by shooting with an arrow, then instantly tapping into the menu, and that's a really short window you've got there because of how short the distance is. you can actually move over the tablet without actually having to go to the bottom, to the lower half of this area. That skips, like I said, it saves about, I believe, about 20 seconds to do that. So it's a pretty nice little time save. For now, though, we will have to go down here. We're gonna shoot the crystal, and off we go one more time. Okay, we've got one more crystal to hit. That's this one. If we can actually... Hello, thank you. Now that we've got all of that done, we can go over here, grab the last collectible item in this place, and then we are done with the Sacred Grove. So we've got half of the amulet done right now, but as we mentioned, there's two halves that we need to collect. Now, the second half is in the ruins of Saradnak, and that's actually the dungeon we're going to spend the most time in this entire run. Reason for that being is that we're coming up fairly soon on a grinding section that we kind of just have to do. And I know grinding is kind of boring, but basically we'll be going through the dungeon a few times, taking pretty much the quickest route. In order to get a whole lot of money, because it turns out there's this one achievement that requires you to get 50,000 gil over the course of the game, and that just costs some time in order to do. It's not necessarily difficult to get it, especially in this next dungeon, but it does take a little bit of time. Reason we do that now is because right now we'll actually have Kyrith, which is a really useful character for this dungeon. She's the only character that can hit all enemies all around her. That makes her significantly faster for this part. Now, we will probably see a death around here somewhere. That's pretty common. Okay, there we go. Now, on top of all that, we also need to collect those little items that you may have just noted. The little brown money pouch. Those actually contain really good items that are, well, I mean, I'm calling them good, but they're pretty much entirely useless. But there is one achievement tied to getting all of them, so we're going to be grabbing a whole bunch of them. And they've got some fantastic names going for them as well. You'll notice in a little bit. So let's change the lighting a little bit. Get that ambient light. The wizards over here, by the way, specifically, I have to really watch out for. Those things are really dangerous. Those fireballs deal a lot of damage. And, well, here's some skeletons. Let's just go kill them off. The Belt of Legend. You can see all the money pickups there as well. Ooh, that's a really good drop right there. Bats tend to drop quite a bit of money or nothing at all. Stonebreaker. Okay, there's not a lot of cards in this place, but that is the one we do need to grab. That gets us to 15 of the 23 cards already. In terms of collectibles, we're like about halfway done right now. We've got a little over half. In terms of achievements, though, we've got a lot of hidden places we either haven't yet visited or have not been able to visit yet. Almost every optional dungeon is near the end of the run somewhere. Basically, we do the regular story and not really too much different from any percent for like the first hour and a half, and then we'll do all of the optional content. Okay, let's get rid of these skeletons. I really need that health. Spirit of Typhon. For those not knowing, Typhon being a ghost-like boss in Final Fantasy VI. Really cool guy. Really funny boss to fight as well. But yeah, this little star over here. Let's go kill off some bats. Well, they're dropping health, at least. Which is good, because we do need health, a lot of health for the next part. The mini-map, so that we actually know where to go now. And now, at this area, we've got a lot of these mushroom rock-like enemies, as well as a bunch of spiders. We're gonna kill them off, or we're gonna kill most of them off once. For the majority of it, we'll skip most of this, though. They generally don't drop a whole lot of good stuff, and they're fairly slow to kill. Zodiac Earring and the Ring of Luck. Okay, now comes the biggest pack that we're gonna kill. This is our main grind spot right here, and you'll see soon enough why. Spirit of Adventure. I need to really get rid of those mages first and foremost. Those are really the bigger damage dealers, especially since I kind of went into this part with fairly low health. Okay. That's a good chunk of them done. Okay, we're gonna have to grab that star. That's pretty much the last collectible we need to get in this dungeon. This is also the only time we're gonna kill off these hornet-like enemies, because they're also pretty slow kills. The Guardian Angel. How are we doing on items anyway? Okay, we're doing pretty well. We've got most of the stuff as it is. Okay, so here we're just gonna push through these enemies so that we'll be surrounded. Because, you know, that just means we can attack on all sides. The diamond necklace of shiny bling, by the way. 5 more. Okay, we're getting pretty close. It's 4 left. Okay, this is another really big pack that generally generates a lot of money. It can also deal a lot of damage, so we kind of need that health. Creeper's Diffuse. Ooh, there's only one that we need to get. Okay, that's pretty good. So we do need to still get one on this boss fight right here. And then we'll have all of the items at least. This is where the last time I did 100% of BSG actually died. Because that one didn't end up dropping, and that was really bad. Okay, I need to have him spawn more bats. That's fireballs, that's not what I need. Basically, this guy will just attack, and then randomly either spawn those fireballs or bats. Okay, that's good. There we go. Okay, since we've got everything. So that bat in the wall right there is not gonna matter. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we have all of the items, which is what the last time I did the BSG it went wrong. So at least this time it should be a little bit easier. And yeah, because of that, this chest over here spawns. And we find ourselves the second part of the amulet. And that means we have all of the pieces of the amulet we need, and we can technically go for what is the final boss. We're gonna buy a few potions. Actually, I need to quickly check what my money status is. 11k. That's good. That's actually really good amount of money. Just gonna buy a bunch of these potions because we will need a few. Okay, let's get like 2 more. That should do it. So right now I spend about 11 or about 10k in total. So I'm gonna grind until I've got a roughly 30k gil. That's at that point we're about at the point that I need it. Like I said, we need 50 gil at some point. By making sure we already get like 40 of that right now, there are still some forced fights later that we'll get a little bit more in as well. And then I potentially would still need to do one more round with Clink in order to just collect the last bit. But we basically just don't want to collect too much. I'd rather have a little bit fewer than a little bit too much. Okay, that guy dropped a lot of money. That's like 200 gil just on that one spider. So, I guess as we're going through this place, you know, collecting the money that we need, Indy, how about you tell us about some of the donation incentives we've got going over the course of this marathon? Because I do believe we still have quite a few going.
Yeah, sure. For the next run, Rayman Arena, all races present by the Xterra, we have a donation incentive where you can pick the character that we're gonna use. Currently, Tensis is in the lead by €1.69. And if you wanna pick a different character, for example, Razorbeard or Rayman, then you should get your donations in. And we also have, for The Legend of Zelda, the Wind Waker HD, the file name with 8 characters, where currently Donk City is in the lead, and many more to go. If you want to hear some music levels in Rayman Legends, or you want to pick a name for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Decks, then you should get your donations in. We're gonna raise money for the Dutch Cancer Society, so let's fight and kill cancer together.
Yeah, we got a good bit of money going already there. We're just gonna get past these spiders. I don't care for them yet. Like I said, this is all just so that we're certain that we're at least surrounded. That just makes grabbing the money later a little bit faster. And they dropped quite a bit too. Okay, 2 more packs for this round. Let's see what we're gonna get. Ideally, we just want as much money to drop as possible, because the more money that drops, the fewer time we'll have to spend in here to grind. You know, the faster we can actually move on with our lives. I kind of wanted to hit the wizard at first there. Okay. It's a little spread out, but we'll just grab all of it. 70, yeah, okay. So about 7k, that's about average for one walk like that. Like I said, we need to end in about 30, so we still have, you know, 23k to go. So I'm expecting like probably 3 more rounds through this place. This is kind of the unfortunate thing with 100% in that there's this one achievement. Everything else, like the 100% category in and of itself is a pretty fun category. But the grinding in this area can be a little annoying sometimes. It's kind of, it's got to be done. This is just the fastest place to go at it. But it's one of those areas where, you know, you kind of just spend a lot of time in there, just walking through this place, grabbing that bit of money. Although I will say, it does help with improving, you know, generally getting through this place fast to begin with, so... It's not necessarily useless, but it can be a kind of a dull area to go through. I guess while we just walk our way through this place, we can talk a little bit more about the differences between the any percent category and the 100% category, because the any percent category is pretty much the same as what we've done up to now. Any percent is just going for that boss fight, or for the final boss. Now, in order to do that, you need to go to the Black Citadel, for which you first need to get to the town. So you collect the two amulet pieces, same as we did basically. And then after that, it's just go to the Black Citadel and then to the final boss fight. So basically, for the any percent category, if this had been any percent, we'd pretty much already be done. There'd only be 2 fights left we still have to do, and then we would already have finished the game. However, this game has a lot of hidden stuff that, you know, we can just collect along the way. A lot of that is in form of achievements. Coincidentally, although probably not much of a coincidence there, they actually completely correspond with the Steam achievements as well. But there's a whole lot of these little hidden areas that, you know, if you're playing this casually, you can kind of just explore and see what the world has to offer. And the idea for 100% kind of just came to it, like, there is that percentage counter in the end, so it's pretty easy to tell when it's 100%. So we figured, you know, we could probably see what achievements we'd need to get, what additional stuff we have to do, and see if we can actually get all of the achievements in a reasonably short time span. It turned out that just because of that, the 100% category is about 3 times the length of the any percent category. That's how big the difference is right there. In part because it has a lot more RNG to it and a lot more random elements in their achievements, but also in that this game has so much additional content that you don't really get to unless you really try to go for that 100% part. And I think that specifically that RNG segment is also part of where the what just happened? Hello? This is interesting. Oh, what the? Okay, that's never happened before. I need to get out of here alive. What the hell just happened? I have no idea. That has never happened before. I know it's a cliche to say it, but the death there is fine because we get to keep the money. Okay. That was interesting. I really don't know what happened there. Well, that is, So yeah, if anybody has any theories as to what happened in that area, I'd like to know, because that might actually have been fast, too. I just don't know exactly whether it's a glitch in the game that happened or that the computer just started glitching out. I mean, if it's the former, then, you know, that, like I said, it would actually be fast, so it'd be kind of useful. If it's the latter, however, I mean, I don't know. That's gonna be an interesting one. Unfortunately, that area had a lot of wizards, and wizards, like I said, they deal a lot of damage, so I couldn't really survive long enough to kill more. Because killing more there would have been really useful as well. Okay, that kind of took me by surprise right there. I mean, we're at the point that it should probably be fine, and I don't think we'll have to worry about it too much. Like I said, we get to keep the money, and it seemed fine, I guess? I just kind of want to know how we can spawn that many enemies at once, because that could be really useful if we can actually purposely trigger that. Unfortunately, the money here is very spread out. It doesn't matter too much, but it was very much spread out there, so something to keep an eye on. But I'll probably, considering how much money I'm currently at, I'll probably only need to do like one more round after this one, and we're already getting close to the end of this one. That is very little money they dropped. See, the thing is, if that had happened on that encounter, for example, then it would have been fantastic, because that thing not only gives a lot of money, generally, but it also has a lot of very quick to kill enemies and very easy to kill enemies. Okay, let's get rid of these wizards. Okay, that is very little money to go with. Let's see, we're on 23. Yeah, one more round should do it. That puts us, money-wise, in a pretty good position, all in all. Because if we just get the average, roughly 7k out of this, we'll have a little bit more than 40k total. Which is kind of ideal. Ideally, you want to be at, like, somewhere between 40 and 43k. And it looks like we're gonna hit that sweet spot right there. If we get a little bit above average, that would be slightly better still, but we'll see what happens. Okay, the last time we're going to be in the ruins of Sauradnak, at least for a good while. We may have to return here near the very end of the run if it turns out that we still wouldn't have 50k after the forced stuff. In that case, we'll make one additional trip here to ensure that we actually get everything we need. I think I might just kill this set just to get a little bit more money. Okay, let's get up here. I don't think I'll do the spider mushroom set here. I shouldn't need that money too desperately. Okay, let's go. So far, not a lot of money drops. We will need a whole lot more. We're getting some money, but not a lot here. That'll be kind of an issue. Okay, I'm gonna actually walk back real quick, collect this bit. Okay, that's better. At least the last drop there was good. Yeah, that was a good drop near the end. That kind of makes up for it. 27, basically. Okay, yeah, so we need about 4K more. Should be doable with the last 3 packs. This always tends to be a big one. There we go. Look at that. Now that's money right there. Yeah, that was basically 2K, and we still have two smaller packs to go. And then we'll be done with the ruins for a good while, and we'll actually just go ahead and progress the story just a little bit more afterwards. That was a really sloppy pack. Okay, here we go. This is the last really big one. Okay, well, we got some money, but not as much as I was hoping for. Yeah, it basically puts us to 40K exactly. That is enough to work with. So we're gonna get the Undead King. That card is really, really expensive, but it's whatever. We have the money now. Luckily, we don't have to actually have 50,000 gil. We just need to have collected a total of 50,000 gil. And well, with the 2 amulet pieces at hand, it's time for us to go to the Black Citadel, which is this tower over here. And this is where the Dark Knight Zephyros awaits us. He's a really bad guy. But well, we can get him, right? He doesn't look too tough. So yeah, the idea of the fight is pretty simple. We need to deal about 200 points of damage, and then we'll go into the next until we go into the next phase. I want to keep my health ideally between like 35 and 65. That's about the safe zone. However, every potion will heal for 50, so that can be a little bit tricky to stay in between every now and again. Okay. So yeah, 22 is too low, and we really need her to not die. And until that, it's just dealing damage and hope you get good rolls. On average, Kyrus deals a little bit more damage than Clink. That's why we'll have Clink heal whenever possible. But both of them deal generally somewhere between 10 and 20 in terms of damage. Okay, 33 is low, but it's not too low, and we're getting pretty close to a kill, so I don't want to overdo it here. Yeah, okay, so we're moving on to the next phase. He's going to use his most powerful attack. We just need to attack a bit to stall him out. You may recognize this move. Yes, that was indeed the Kamehameha. He just did a Kamehameha wave, because why not? Might as well, right? So he beats us. He's supposed to beat us there. And then he goes on to kill off Kyrus. So, yeah. That's Rip Kyrus. And if no Phoenix down is gonna help us in that, she's gone. So with that, our hidden powers get awakened in our rage, and we're gonna summon the god of the dragons, Bahamut, for our most powerful attack. Now this attack will deal exactly as much damage as he has health left. So that's kind of convenient. That works for any enemy, by the way. It will always deal as much damage as he has health left. But yeah, as we defeat him, he will go back to the mana tree in order to restore his health. And, well, what we could do now is go into town, get the airship, and just go for the final boss. That's kind of what you do in any percent after that fight. Because right here in town, we're gonna get ourselves an airship, and we could just fly to them on a tree, defeat him, and be done with it. However, we will not, because we have still way too much sidetracking we have left to do. So we're gonna get all of that out of the way first. We're gonna go to all of the remaining hidden dungeons. We're gonna collect all of the remaining chests that we hadn't actually grabbed yet, as well as do some quests that we were supposed to do here. So yeah, all the town grieving over the death of Kyrus, and well, to help us fight this war, he's gonna give us the high wind. That will allow us to actually move around the map. So let's go. Now the airship is kind of convenient. There's no overworld encounters. It's pretty fast. We can get over rivers and stuff. We are going to unlock the 3D fights because we do kind of need some overworld enemies later. And that's just the most convenient place to get it. Now, it doesn't matter too much if we get a few overworld encounters. If we do, I want to specifically see Atuines. They're a turtle-like enemy, because we need to defeat 10 of them. But before anything else, we're going to get into the Forbidden Lake. Now, this is an area that can lose or save you a lot of time, because there's one little skip that if you forget to do it, it just loses a ton. Also, I need to kill one of these guys with a fire arrow, and I need them to actually walk in my path. That would be convenient, but they are not quite cooperating right now. There's an achievement to beating one of them with a flaming arrow. Not a bat. Bats are not what I was looking for. Ah, missed it by a hair. That kind of sucks, because I will get another chance later, but it really isn't convenient to have to do that later on. Okay, there's the 20 hidden stars. They really don't want to get in the path right now, and that really that's just really painful for me. Okay, so this is the important one. I need to break that rock and shoot a fire arrow downwards. If I don't, I will have to completely redo the entire thing a second time. Okay, so let's move. Like I said, there is a second area where I can kill them with fire arrows. There's a little bit more tortures, but there's a little bit fewer enemies there. So it's not ideal to have to do it late, but I guess considering the way that they were moving, we kind of have to. There's a total of 5 stars in this area that we need to collect, as well as 1 card. That flaming arrow downwards was specifically in order to collect that 1 card we need later on. This forest always gets to me. This can be a very confusing forest sometimes. We got through the hard part. Okay, one more chest down here. Let's just hope the Octoroks down there are gonna cooperate a little bit more, because if they are not cooperative as well, it might get a little bit difficult. slightly faster than the bombs there. So yeah, this is the other area where they're at. Thank you. That works. That was really convenient that he actually cooperated that well. Okay, so now we need to just shoot a couple of fire arrows, light all of the torches, and then it's basically done. Because that'll allow us to actually hit, or actually cross this path. Now there could have been a small tree down here if I'd actually forgotten to shoot the second fire arrow downwards that we did just a little bit earlier. It's another one where you can lose quite a bit of time on if you're not careful. Okay, so this one's just place a bomb past the tree. And that gets us kind of to a point of no return. Like, the only way to get back to the start now is by completely redoing the thing. And if I had not done the first arrow, I would not have been able to get to this chest. Okay, last but not least, right at the end here, the Zephyros card. And that is it for the Forbidden Lake. That's all there was to find there. So, on to the next hidden dungeon. That one's conveniently placed right over here in this corner. This is Babamoot's lair. We're gonna get another unfortunate encounter here. This one's kind of annoying in that they still don't have any Atuines in there. And we need to kill Atuines. Okay, the Shrine of Babamoot. And this is probably the hidden dungeon I tend to have the most trouble with. There's a couple puzzles you need to solve first to get 3 stone slabs. This first one's pretty easy. Basically, there's going to be a bunch of skeletons spawning. And what we're going to do is just place a bomb and just kill them like that. Pretty easy. And that unlocks the gate. So that's one of the 3 done. Let's move on. Now the second one is going to be to the left here, and that's another one of those whirlwind puzzles. This one specifically isn't too difficult because we're just going to damage boost through the thing. Oh, that is kind of bad. Okay, that was a little unfortunate, but that's fine. Okay, the last one is a lava puzzle, and this is where I really need to watch out for those mages, because they can push me into the lava with their fireballs, and that would set me back to the start of the dungeon. Loses a lot of time when that happens. Also getting a little lower on health than I'd like to admit. Because we're not entirely done with the dangerous part yet, so I do still need a little bit of health. But first and foremost, let's grab this one. There's one more star and one more card in this place to collect. And then we're pretty much done. So this is supposedly kind of like a maze setting, but there's just one path, and it's just completely filled up with bats. The bats themselves can't really do anything except for deal a little bit of damage, and that doesn't matter too much. Okay, not going to be picking up... Okay, I kind of did not want to pick that up, because I need to I need a death warp later. So I need to have some damage on me. Well, let's just do another one of these tile puzzles. Pretty easy one. The only thing we really have to watch out for is that bat over there. Okay, we've now broken 20 pots, so we're done with that. The last of the stars. We're a little high on health right now, but that's okay. I'd rather be a little bit higher on health at this part than I'd be lower. Because there is another trap here, and basically it's the same story as before. You need to kill every monster, and that'll open up a gate. The only thing here is this card, the Babamoot card. The thing is, we can just Death Warp. That just sets us back to the start as well. It's a lot faster. Okay, next up is a bit of an interesting side quest here. We're first going to drop off in town because there was that one card that we actually never got. So let's go get that now. Oh, there's our first Tatooine. As much as possible, I'm just going to summon Babamoot, because that will instantly kill the entire enemy team. However, Babamoot has a cooldown of a couple of minutes, so we won't be able to use him too often, but we'll try to use him as much as we can. Well, and into town to get that last card that we never got. It's not even that useful a card. The Emek is a pretty bad card, but, you know, if we have to collect all of them, we might as well just do that now. Okay, so now we're just gonna grind out, because there is one enemy in this area that I need to kill off. Might take a few tries to get it. You'll notice that between the encounters, or at least between the useful ones, I'll probably enter my airship. That's because the airship is also an autosave. So that's just for the marathon safety. We're dealing pretty good damage so far. Okay, so that's two Tatooines done. That's not what we needed. There's specifically, and this is a really cool encounter we're looking for, but there's specifically one encounter that I want to get. It's probably my favorite enemy in the game. Okay, where are you? A third Tatooine? Sure, sure. Not what I was looking for, but we're basically getting most of our Tatooine grind out of the way now. I mean, you won't hear me complaining about that one. The killing of 10 Tatooines generally is one of the most RNG-heavy parts of the run. It's the part that can screw you over the most, at least, because in the area that the most Tatooines show up, there's also one enemy pack that basically can instantly kill my party in just before I even get a chance to run. So the more Tatooines we kill now, the better, because that just means that we won't have to worry about it later. Okay, there we go. There we go. There's my good buddy. This is a Chiboko, totally not to be confused with a Chocobo from the Final Fantasy franchise. We do have to actually defeat him, unfortunately, and he's pretty powerful too. So I'll have to use a few of my potions. If I had Babamoot, I could summon him here and instantly kill this guy, even though it's a boss fight. But since we don't, we'll just have to do it the old-fashioned way. This guy doesn't have too much health, so it's not too much to worry about. As long as I make sure to heal. Okay, good hit. It's probably one more hit, but I didn't count, so not sure. Yeah, there we go. So that gets me the Chiboko Hunter achievement, as well as Chiboko Meat, which we can use to get another achievement later on. But first, we're going to do our last trip around Edenvale, because we have not actually collected everything yet. There are 2 items here that you can only collect after you get the bombs. And then there's 1 item that was just really slow to collect earlier. Okay, so the other one is to the side over here. Interestingly enough, for some reason, you can kind of do a boost here in your speed. As soon as the bomb drops that you cancel out of the menu, it pushes you forward a little bit. It only seems to do that in this area, so I don't really know what causes it, but it's pretty cool that it happens. Okay, and then the chest that tends to lose the most time if you get it early. Camera zoom. I got it a little bit earlier in this run than I'm supposed to get it, because I still have the mines to do, which I was supposed to do earlier, before going for the Chiboko, but that's okay. It loses maybe like 10 seconds or something, so it's not a huge time loss. Okay, so that's Edenvale done, and on to the Noira Mines for our second trip around this place. And this one will actually take a while as well, because we kind of skipped out on a lot of the items. So yeah, basically, normally you'd pick up camera zoom as late as possible to prevent that zooming happening every time. But there's not that many chests that we need to grab anyway, so it won't lose me too much. Okay, let's get the bomb over there. Grab this chest real quick. This is just ensuring that we get all of the remaining cards and stars. After this point, we'll basically have all of them. Okay, so that one we'll get last. That's actually... remember that whirlwind trap that we encountered in this place earlier? If you fall down the last one, you'll actually get sent to that chest over there. So falling down the last one in any percent is incredibly bad, because it would set you back all the way over here, which means you basically have to do all of this again. Okay, so we're going to go up here. Now on the side here, we will have one more trigger to hit. The skeletons can still spawn right now, so what we're going to do is we're going to hit this trigger, we're going to wait for the gate to open, and then just casually walk our way out of this place and walk through the gate a second time. We've skipped that fight before, we can skip it again. Okay, let's grab this one. So there's 2 more collectibles, which is exactly the amount I still need. So that means that we've actually not forgotten any cards or stars. So that's a really good sign. So yeah, that last one will have to fall down. But before we do, we're first going to have to get one more item that we couldn't get earlier. We'll do a few lava boosts, because I know Indy loves those. And, well, we'll just go get that last item afterwards. Okay, so we've got this one over here. That's the last of the stars. And, well, we'll jump into the lava here. We'll jump into the lava here. Sets us back a good bit. Okay, I cannot take any more damage right now, or I'm gonna need hearts. Okay, I need hearts. This thing deals too much damage otherwise. Okay, there we go, that's better. Because I will actually lose health on this one, so I need to make sure not to die instantly. And I wasn't sure if it was a quarter heart or half a heart. Yeah, that gets us the Clink card. That is the last card. And now to finish up, we're just going to do another Death Warp. The last of our Death Warps. That's just to set us back to the start of the dungeon. Okay. With all that out of the way, we've pretty much done most of the optional content. Now we still need to get some achievements. And to start that off, we're going to get ourselves the Turtle Soup achievement. And I know, there's a few people around here that have a soft spot for turtles, and I get that. So I'll try to kill as few as I need to. I mean, we kind of gotta get it done anyway, but I'll try to keep it to a bare minimum. So here's number 4, our 4th Atuin. That only means 6 more Atuins to kill, and that's a really good spot to be in time-wise. That means if we get some good RNG beyond this point, we're not on a bad pace at all. This has been a pretty solid run up to this point. The Chiboko took a while, but like even though it did end up taking some time, it also kind of cost me to get a bunch of Atuins. Okay, so we need to talk to that guy to get the Master Collector, which means that I've collected every single card in the game. And I'm going to have to do a quick walk around, and that's to get the Chiboko meat cooked, so that we can actually give that to some adventurer that really likes that meat for some reason. That is for one more achievement that we're going to grab. Kind of means walking around town again, but because we at least have the fast disc speed now, it's a pretty fast walk. I did get I got silver armor. Just making sure I got the silver armor there. We kind of need that. Okay, and over here we're gonna get into our airship real quick, just to get that last item I need. Because that tent over there actually has an achievement tied to it as well. So if we deliver the Chiboko meat there, he will reward us greatly. Now, casually, this is actually an item that can actually be very useful. You can only use it for one fight, but it can be very helpful for the final boss fight, and it makes the final boss a lot safer in general, because we just get a 4th heart container. And having 4 hearts for the final boss is nice to have. We don't need it. It's definitely a fight that's very doable without it. But, you know, it adds to the safety a little bit. Okay, so these are the ones that we don't like to see. These are really bad encounters. Pacoons can deal a lot of damage. Okay, so I'm going to go back in here mostly so that I can save. We'll get healed up, we'll save, and that means let's go for the last 5 Atuins. And once we're done with that, it's basically done. Okay, there we go. That's a good early Atuin. I have to. Shadow on the couch here is asking me not to kill it, but unfortunately I'm gonna have to. What? Okay, 4 more that we need to do. Okay, this is the worst possible encounter. These guys can deal a ton of damage. These are also the really dangerous ones. Luckily right now, even if I would die to them, I wouldn't lose any Atuins. That's why we save between every single Atuin we kill. You can see how much damage they deal. Like, sets me back to 4 health, and that is after having killed, or after just running away from it. That's also why skipping that encounter chest saves so much time in both any percent and 100%. Because if you'd be encountering those guys all the time here, it'd be a pain. Yeah, I can't do Babamut yet, but we're getting pretty close. One more hit, and then we'll have just 3 left. So far, we've had really, really good RNG on the turtles. The Atoines have really been cooperating today. This is one of those places where if you get unlucky, you can just easily lose 5 to 10 minutes just on trying to find those things. Because you can just randomly get this, and that doesn't help a whole lot. Having the Zumba here is a little less bad than having a second Apidja, but it's still a pretty bad encounter. Let's see, I need to check my health. Okay, 35 is enough to go on. I might get killed by the next encounter, but an Atoine encounter won't be able to kill me at least. Or we just get them 3 times in a row. That's fun. Yeah, we're basically dead. That's fine. That's why we save. Okay, that's better. Oh, I can't actually do Babamut yet. Sita. Okay, let's get that turtle out of the way as well. Okay, just 2 more now. We're almost done. I know, Shadow. The worst part of the run is almost over. I don't know if the worst part would be the end. The end is pretty good. Oh, okay, it's that pack again. That's not a fun pack. Seven health. I need to heal then. That's too low. Okay, let's see if we can still find them. Come on, let's not get trolled on the last 2. That'd be a little bit sad. I guess while I look for the remaining 2, Indy, how about you read us a quick donation?
Sure, we have a €5 donation from Wicked. Mario seems good, Metroid looks great, but give us Animal Crossing before it's too late. Money goes to Wayman M character Globox. He's so happy. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I need to throw a potion here for safety, otherwise the Atoine will kill me. And I'll basically have 1 Babamut left for the final Atoine. Past the Atoine grind, I shouldn't need my potions anymore, so it doesn't matter if I run out by that point. We should also be getting fairly close to the money I need. Okay, here we go. If we can get that last one really, really quickly, we're not on a bad pace. Like, at all. Actually, I'm going to play this slightly different. I know how I'm going to do this, because there is only one left right now, so we'll want to be able to finish up as quickly afterwards as possible. Okay, there we go. Last Tatooine. I could have used Babamut here, but I might just keep it in the back. Oh, that wasn't the last one? How? How did that not count as the last one? That's kind of bad. Okay, let's summon Babamut, because this is a dangerous position to be in. These encounters are incredibly scary right now, and I thought we were good, but apparently we might not be. I need to think. Okay, let's see. The airship is probably closer by, so I'm gonna go there. That'll at least secure the fact that I have my my Tatooine kill. Let's see. What's the best thing to do? I think actually this. Okay, while I kill off the last Tatooine, let's go for another quick donation, shall we?
We actually have 2 donations. One from Shadow Wolf, 5 euros. Hi buddy, this is the leader of the Turtle fan club. Please stop killing turtles. This goes to Globox for Raymond M. And then we have Plunder Noob. No, it has to be Tensies. 2 big noses, 1 no nose. And this puts, if you let me quick check, the character for the Raymond M. Where is it? Globox is still in the lead with 10 euros and Tensies with 6 euros and 69. So if you want to change that character, you should get your donations in.
So yeah, with that, Shadow, you know what? I'll hold you up to your request. We'll stop killing turtles from this point onward. I think we've done enough harm today. So, well, the unfortunate part is I do not really have the money yet, so we're not going to be saving all the animals yet, because that means we'll do one more round through this place in order to ensure I'll have enough money, get that last money achievement, and then there is basically only 2 things left. There's the card tournament, which can lose a lot of time as well. I remember last week in a practice run, I actually ended up being about like 50 seconds ahead of world record by this point. And then was 6 minutes behind by the end of it, just because of the card tournament. That's how much time card tourney can lose, and it is unfortunately not very uncommon. However, first we still need to have that 50,000 gil that we were talking about. So let's go ahead and collect that. Just casually gonna walk through this, get the bigger encounters. The Tatooines themselves give a good couple thousand gil to begin with. Just the 10 Tatooines are already 2,000 gil, as well as a bunch of Zumbas that are there. There's plenty of regular fights we had to do. We had to kill off the Chiboko, which gives some money, you know, all that good stuff. So all in all, it shouldn't be too long for me to get the money that I need. As soon as we see the 50,000 gil achievement pop, it's basically just walk to the end, do the cart tourney, get to the airship, and onto the final boss. We're mostly getting health drops, which is kind of sad. Let me grab most of the money anyway. Because I don't know exactly how close I am to hitting the amount that I need. We might be surprisingly close, or we might still be surprisingly far away. I've seen both happen in runs. Generally, one additional walk through it is enough. Ah, there we go. That's it. We're done. Let's walk out of this place. Because that just means that there's just cart tourney and the final boss left. And then we're basically done. I think if we get a really good cart tourney, like no losses, this might be world record pace. I'm not sure, but it wouldn't surprise me that if I don't get a loss on cart tourney, which is basically pure RNG, it might be possible. We'll know soon enough. Let's go. 152 something is world record right now. Okay, so we're going to start off with that card. It's a pretty bad card to start with, but that's all fine, because I kind of want to get my bat ones out of the way early. Grab that. We have the seed, luckily. That makes things a little bit easier. And I'm going to have to place all of my cards, so I need to make sure I grab as many of his as possible. Okay, this is not a fantastic position, but it should work. Ideally, he places it on the rightmost spot. He does. That's perfect, because then I can grab both, and it's definitely a win. So that's the easy one. But we're not done yet. Time for medium. Okay, that's a pretty decent hand. Yeah, this is a pretty decent hand. I'll place that there, get that out of the way now. So I can use up all of the good ones from this point onward. Let's use the seed actually. Okay, that one's kind of to be expected. We are not going to be able to take that, so let's... yeah, let me do this. Because that forces him to put him on the left line, and that's good for us. Okay. That's a win, I think. That's 5. Yeah, that's a win. Okay, so that's medium. Hard. Let's go. This is where things get interesting, especially if you get a bad draw like this. Because this is honestly a really, really bad draw for me. I should have gone with the Zumba, actually. That's a mistake. Okay, yeah, the Zumba was a mistake. We might lose this one. Let's see, that puts us to 5. He'll probably take one still, though. Actually, that puts us to 6. That's a win. Nice, let's go. That's a really clutch win, but that's fine. Now for the champion level. That will not... Okay, so we'll keep that in the hand. I'll play that one. That secures it immediately. Kefka's Ghost here is a pretty good one. I figured he'd go for that. Let's take it back using Kairos. Okay, a 4 there. Let's see, that's 5 cards, I think. Is that... That's nice. That is first try card tourney. I mean, we still have the final boss, and we still would need to see if it is 100%, but this might be world record pace. Because this phase is actually really good. We'll not kill this Tatooine Shadow, don't worry. I don't need them anymore. We've killed enough. The turtle soup is the name of the achievement, yeah. No, the turtle soup was not an actual item in the game, it's the name of the achievement. Okay, well, on to the final boss. For, you know, the guys on the timer, time is as the last text box passes after the third phase of the fight. This fight consists of 3 phases. First, we're gonna have to get rid of his hands, then his armor, and then we're gonna fight him directly. Each hand takes 10 hits. The armor, or the armor piece I need to hit 4 times, and the regular guy I need to hit 4 times as well. So yeah, here we go. Okay, that's one hand done. That's the other hand, so that's that. That's phase 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, he only went for a 4 there. Yeah, I figured he would. You can go for either 3 or you'll always either go for 4, 5, or 6. You can get unlucky and just get 4 and accounting for 5. That's fine though. 2, 3, 4, 5. That's in an awkward spot. Yeah, didn't think I could hit it. Come on, this is a pretty bad second phase. I need one more hit on him. Okay, that's the second phase. Let's go for the third one. So like I said, time is as the last text box closes after this phase. We need to hit this guy with 4 blue balls. He'll either spawn red or blue ones. It's a really bad spawn for a blue one. Okay, come on. That's 1. Two. Okay, 3, get ready on the timer. Time. Okay, we will need to see if the if this is 100%, but if it is, that's world record by a couple of minutes even. That's pretty significantly. That went a lot better than I expected. I mean, all throughout the run, RNG has kind of been in my favor. We got the dodgeball achievement first try, which is pretty hard to do. That's always a fight I'm scared of. Yeah, I mean, the Tatooine's just cooperating, getting 3 of them already during the searching for the Chewbacca. First try cart tourney on everything, even with a bad hand I had on hard. Still getting it first try. It's, RNG was definitely in my favor today. So, yeah, let's see if it actually is 100%, because if it's not, then, you know, so be it. Which is very much, you know, it's not unlikely to happen, because there are some really, you know, well-hidden achievements here and there. We'll know soon enough. So yeah, the credits just showing off some memes, basically. And at the end of the credits, we'll see what our percentage is. Okay, let's go. 100%, that's world record. That's world record by about 4 minutes, I believe. So